Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about passing your nail salon inspection. So this is something that is very helpful, and I wish I saw something like this before I started mine. But since I got my inspection done so smoothly every time I got it done, I thought I was confident enough to be able to tell you guys that, you know what, this is definitely helpful. So these are some things that I'm going to go over that helped me and passed my inspection every time without any hiccups. First things first, you want to go on the Laura website, again, like I mentioned the last time, and you will print something like this. Now, I have a whole bunch of notes on there, so don't worry about that. So you would go under, there's nothing specific for nail salon, but we're gonna go ahead and print the one which says cosmetology establishment. Now, once we go on there, there's gonna be a whole bunch of things that are not even applicable to a nail salon. So we're just gonna pick and choose the ones that are, and we're gonna go with that. So what I did for you guys is I went through the list from Laura, and then I made separate notes, which just so you guys don't have to go through and pick and choose if it's for the nail salon or for a regular full service salon. So I picked out the things which I know are the important things. So first things first, you want to make sure your nail salon's looking nice and clean. Your first time your inspector walks in, they're gonna get that first impression and they'll know how much they need to worry about your salon. They're very easy with first time salon owners because your nail salon is not open yet. So you do have some room to make mistakes because it's not like it's a functional nail salon yet. Till you don't get that go from the inspector and get that license from the state, you can't start your salon. So make sure your place is nice and clean, starting all the way from the entrance all the way back to your washroom or lunchroom. Second, you want to make sure that your license is displayed. This is what I did to have my license displayed. This is the one from the city that shows that we've completed all requirements and we are able to go ahead with business. And this was my manicurist license so that she knew I was licensed. And that's pretty much it. You can have it framed on the wall if you want. You can have it on the desk, however you want. But this is what I chose just because it was out of the way and it served the purpose. If you are the only employee or the person running the salon, then you would just need to put your license on there. If you have more employees, you would have their licenses displayed as well. So that's that. That's how they're gonna verify you. When they walk in the door, they're gonna make sure they check an ID or your license, and then they start the inspection. There has to be adequate supply of running hot and cold water. We ran into this thing a day before the inspection that our water got cut off, and just because we were so busy with setting everything up, and that is something that I'll never forget because I was in total panic. But that is something you want to make sure your water is running hot and cold. You have to have drinking water. So what I have here is a cooler setup, with the dispenser and the 5-gallon bottles, and that's just my water supply for drinking water. As far as waste containers go, so they want covered waste containers large enough for 1 day's accumulated waste. So you don't want to have those small little bins. You want to have a good, decent sized, tall bin. As far as equipment goes, so all equipment, implements, and tools need to be sanitized after every use and covered after cleaning. So this is what we did. Now, this is one of those sterilizers and towel warmers all in one, and it was so convenient for us. I love it. It's perfect because it does both things. Now they do have them separately where you can have your towel warmer separate and a sterilizer separately, but this works awesome. So you can actually have you have 2 sections over here, 2 trays, and this was something I got off of Amazon, so it worked perfectly fine. This is something that was not required, but this is something I did and my inspector really liked it. So to show how we sanitize our tools, I have these little packets. These are little sterilizer packets, and I put my tools in here. And then I had a little barbicide container on the side, which I put a couple tools in. So that showed my steps. So after washing and cleaning them, I put them in the barbicide container, then we dry them off, put them in these packets and stick them in this machine. And that was something that I had displayed. Those packets are perfect because till you don't have a customer and you start doing a service on them, they're actually sealed till then. All right. Another thing is reactive chemicals are used in accordance to manufacturer's recommendations. So this is what I did and it worked. It's not required, but I did hear that it was. So I made a binder with the MSDS sheets for all the chemicals. So with the acetone that I bought from the store, the nail supply store, I got MSDS sheets on that. I got it for the alcohol. And this is something they're gonna have for you. So all you have to do is just ask the store and they should be able to give you these MSDS sheets, even if it's for your foot scrub. That's what I did. I always like to be a little prepared, more prepared than I should be. Towels. Now towels have to be in an enclosed cabinet or drawer, but just as long as they're enclosed in a container, a drawer or a cabinet. Soiled ones need to be in a container that is labeled soiled linens. I just used this as my soils. This was just a bin that I had, and I just put this label on it which says, just something that says soiled linens. And that worked. It doesn't have to be something too crazy. Just a quick tip that is so useful. If you have different colors of towels, which we did, we had red towels and white towels, make sure you have two separate containers, because if you put those wet towels together, your white towels will get stained. And we learned it the tough way. So, make sure that you guys have two separate containers for different colored ones. And then tables and surfaces need to be wiped and disinfected after every customer. So this is what I did for my setups. I had in every desk, or I kept one of these wipes. So it can be any brand as long as it's those sanitizer disinfectant wipes. That was just our handy way of every time we were done with a customer, we can just pick this out, quickly wipe our desk and chair, and we're done. So this is one of the things that really worked well, because she was really happy with that. The next point is everything has to be labeled. All bottles have to be labeled. The acetone bottles, and you will get these at the nail supply store where they're pre-labeled for you. There's like alcohol, acetone, there's cuticle softener, calcium remover, so all those are printed for you. If it's not, and you have something different, like this is a cuticle eliminator that I had, and I'm gonna close up. So what I did is I just wrote it on there. That way, regardless, your bottles are labeled. Now, this was my setup for my table. If you see, I have a jar of my cotton over here, an acetone bottle for quick access, a sanitizer bottle. Definitely very useful. Each of the desks had these mini barbicide jars. Again, with the solution pre-done in it, diluted with the water, and sitting over here. So when you're doing your manicures, you have somewhere to put your tools in. As simplified as you can keep it, it works wonders. So as long as everything is labeled, they're not asking for too much. They're not asking for much, really. As long as they can see that your place is nice and clean, you're organized, you're following the rules. Labeling is definitely a big plus. That's the first thing they're looking for. If you have an empty bottle sitting like this, a plain bottle with some chemical in there that they're not aware of, you're gonna get in trouble. So as for the pedicure stations, I had my pedicure station already set up for her so she can understand how we will be operating. And this was not required, but this was something I did. This is how I set up mine. I had my towel out, I had my liner, the plastic liner for the bowls out, and I had my tray set up already with my disposable pedicure kit and my sanitized tools in the little sanitizer bag. So this is something, the disposable kits are not required. You can have your own tools and just lay them out how you would. But every time you use disposable kits, which are pre-packed and ready to throw right after one use, there's less question asked. You can find manicure kits that are disposable. You can find pedicure kits that are disposable. They come in huge cases and they're very, very affordable. So if you do think of it, this is definitely something to consider. It makes work a lot easier, and again, the inspection will go very smooth, and inspectors always like disposable stuff. Once our pedicures are completed, how do we sanitize our bowls? How do we clean them? So once the pedicure is done, we toss these liners out and we clean the bowl with a brush and soap. Once that is done, we have these bottles over here with barbicide solution. We spray that in there and let it sit till they're ready for the next person. That's what I did for my pedicure stations. So some of the things that, again, like I mentioned, they were not on the list, but I still did them. That's what helped me pass the inspection. I have a couple more which were really helpful. So a first aid box is always very important. And this is not something that I found on the Laura website, but this is something that is pretty much understandable that you have to have a first aid kit. And they do require it. Not sure why it wasn't on the list. So you can get it from anywhere. There's nothing specific to it, just a regular first aid box. As far as foot scrubbers go, now nail supply stores will still be selling the scrubbers or the scrapers, the foot scrapers, which they call cheese graters in the nail salon world. I hate that word, but you know, it's definitely what it's called. So when I initially started, I saw it at the nail supply store and I thought, it's at the nail supply store, so it can be illegal, or it's, you know, it has to be something that we can use, but that was not the case. My inspector did tell me that they do sell it, but you're not supposed to be using it. Once again, things can vary from state to state. This is how it is in Michigan, and you can check the rules in your state. You know, it also depends on your inspector. Some inspectors are very easy. Some inspectors could come in and they're super strict, but that is definitely something you don't want to have at the time of your inspection. One thing that I did not mention when I spoke about the chemicals is that you can't have more than one bottle. And when I say one bottle, I say 1 big gallon size, because these chemicals are highly flammable. For safety reasons, you can only have them in smaller quantities. So you don't want to stock them in the salon. That is something that they're not going to want. Something really important, especially nowadays with the whole COVID situation going on, and you know, even in general, is you want to put hand washing signs for your employees. I had them in my washroom and in the back in the lunch area. So that's something you want to make sure that you have on there as well. So with the ventilation, we made sure that we had a little sign over there that says exhaust must be on at the time of service. That makes our customers feel like they can ask for it. We're actually asking them to let the service tech know, or the nail tech know, to turn that exhaust on at the time of a service. So they feel like they're entitled to it and they feel good about it. But that is something that the city required as well. These are some of the things that worked for me. If you have any questions, please do leave it in the comment box down below and I will be glad to answer them for you. I know with your first time salon owner, or if you're new to the business, there's a lot of questions. There's, you know, you hear a lot of different things. If you have any of those questions, please let me know if I can help in any way. Hope you liked this video and it was helpful for you. Good luck on your inspection. And if you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, just so I know it worked for you. Other than that, have a wonderful day and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Oh, that's not